Das Intro got so verkackt. Hey guys, and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're filming a wrap-up. I am super aware I didn't film a wrap-up for February because I just couldn't be bothered to film a wrap-up, to be honest. But we're filming one for February and March because in March I read one singular book, and finished the book I started in February. So March wasn't going well. March wasn't going well mentally either. So it was a lot, but we got through it. We're better. We're getting back on track, and we're gonna go through the books I read February and March. Okay, so I'm trying to be more structured because my brain doesn't work very structured. My brain's all over the place at all times. So I'm trying to be more structured. So I made notes in my journal, which technically is not really my journal anymore. It's like a diary where I just write everything into. So, her first book is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. If you know, you know. I am obsessed with the Villain series by V.E. Schwab. She wrote Vicious and Vengeful, which I'm obsessed with. Basically, this was very entertaining most of the times. And it actually scared the frick out of me at night because it's just weird and there's like creatures in here and everything. But something was really missing from this book to make it like have a better rating. I gave it 3 stars. So it's about this girl who cannot talk. And she first lives in like a house with orphan girls, and then her uncle apparently writes her a letter and tells them to send her to him to live with him. Her uncle's dead, so she shows up to the house and no one even knows who sent the letter to her. And basically there is like a border, and behind the border there's this house, but the whole thing is like twisted, and there's creatures in there and they're not allowed to go there. And apparently everyone that goes to Gallant, which Gallant is this house, you go crazy and die. Then we read one of my most anticipated books of this year, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which is the 5th book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and it's also the final book of like from Magnolia's POV, or like about Magnolia. The other books I think would be about Daisy again. Y'all, so me and Magnolia, we have a difficult relationship because my sister says I'm a lot like her, which I feel like is an insult because Magnolia is freaking annoying. But I still really enjoyed this book. It gave me the closure I needed from the other books because throughout the first and second book you go through life with Magnolia, her relationship, her friendships, her relationship with her family, with her sister. Things happen, people die, people live. There's a lot, and this one just gave me the closure I needed. The series is kind of about these rich kids. They're not really kids anymore, in their 20s. And they're like this big friendship group, and they're super codependent on each other. And y'all, codependency, we all know it. We're all aware of it. But this one was toxic. Like, this one is another level of codependency. There's codependent, and there's the box set. And the box set is insane. But I still love this, and the box set is so cool, and their friendship is so real and still very toxic. Like, they're so toxic. Like, another book that was one of my most anticipated books of this year, Far Beyond Gold, Running from Fear by Sydney McLaughlin. So if you know me, you know I am super obsessed with her, and I'm so mesmerized by the things she's done and the things she's still doing, and just her as an athlete is amazing. And this is kind of like an autobiography, and she kind of takes us through like what happened when she first qualified for the Olympic trials and stuff like that. And I feel like this book really held, even though like Sydney is just like so talented and her work ethic is amazing, and I just want to be her. I've said this to my parents a million times. I just want to be Sydney, and the fact that she runs 400-meter hurdles is insanity because if you know me, you know I'll never ever want to run at 400. I don't like 400s, but I am so mesmerized by people who do run 400s, even like my friends that run like longer distances. It's something I just don't think I could do, and it's something I don't want to do. I feel like it's not my thing. It's not something I should be doing, and I think everyone that has seen me train, has seen me run track, is gonna agree that 100 is more my thing than a 400 would ever be. Anyways, I digress. This book is about Sydney, and she talks about different coaches that she has, different training groups that she has. She also talks about kind of her journey with God and how she, because okay, so Sydney grew up in a believing family. So they were Christians, they went to church each Sunday, stuff like that. But then again, I also, like, from my own experience, growing up in a Christian household will not make you Christian, like, automatically. It's kind of a decision you have to make for yourself. I found it so inspiring and interesting because that's something I did and I'm still doing, because I feel like this is something that's going to go into, like, deeply into my 20s. And also her relationship with Andre was so amazing because they got married pretty quick, and just to see like how she also just mentioned like other people were kind of like iffy about it, even her parents, but they really believed it. And of course they haven't been married for too long now, I think 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure. By the way, I gave Magnolia Parks 3 stars. Then we have a little thriller. It's The Only One Left by Riley Sager. If you know me, you know I love Riley Sager. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I have notes again. It's kind of a haunted house gothic mystery. It has twists and turns, which we know Riley Sager always have. And honestly, this book, go in blind. I don't want to really review it and tell you guys what it's about, but I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars, and it's a really good book. And again, I think I said it before, Riley Sager books, go into them blind. Thrillers in general, go into thrillers blind. Do not read reviews on thrillers, because I promise if you have no idea what a book is about, you're going to enjoy it so much more. Maybe read trigger warnings, because that's something I have to start doing. I have to start reading trigger warnings in like contemporary books, because we listened to how she did it on Audible, because I was kind of in an audiobook era for a little while there. And so how she did it again is about athletes, and it's about distance runners. I'll never run distance, okay? I'll never run a marathon, I'll never run a 10K. I do not want to do it, and I'm not going to let anyone force me to do it, but I wanted to listen to them talk. So they gave amazing tips, and the main reason why I picked it up is because I knew they're going to talk about eating as an athlete. And again, tips about eating, it's not like I've never heard them. I have this insane fear of gaining weight, that it's insane, like it's an actual fear. As an athlete, you need to eat. As a human, you need to eat, but as an athlete especially, you need to fuel your body. And just hearing like this distance runners kind of telling, or like saying how so many athletes, when they're young, especially girls, go through this phase of being afraid to eat because of the way their body will look or feel like in comparison to other people. I felt so seen. And because it's something maybe I'm oversharing here, I might have to cut this out. Because it's something I actively struggle with, hearing this again made me realize how stupid my issue is, because I have the privilege of even having food and having enough food and being able to form my body to actually train well, run well, and have good competitions. Hearing adults that actively went through the same thing you're going through is so helpful, because I take their opinion more seriously than people telling me, oh, you should just eat. The frick? I'm aware I should just eat. If I could, I would. But I literally lose, like I'm not hungry or anything. I'm just like empty. And it's the worst feeling ever. And listening to them say how important it is, and just also saying that they understand and see where you're coming from, but you need to remember your bigger goal, and my bigger goal is to be as fast as humanly possible. So eating is part of that. Yeah. Then we read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This has been everywhere for really long, and I finally picked it up, and actually I'm really happy I did. It's about Dolly Alderton's life, so it's kind of an autobiography. It's kind of a biography. So I feel like this book, many people say it's Everything I Know About Friends, but it is still about love. It's about the love between a girl and her girlies. Like, we love it. Every girl needs her girlies. If you have not met your girlies, trust me, one day you will. And this book just made me appreciate my girlies way more. My friendship circle is very small because we struggle. but the girls I have are the most amazing people ever. And basically this book, you follow Dolly throughout her 20s. And actually I read this for another video I'm trying to do, and I actually have to get to and film it, so I don't want to say too much about this. But this book, the only thing is I couldn't really relate to a lot of things happening because I never really went to parties. I'm also 20 and still don't go to parties. I'm also turning 21 this year, which is insane, but anyways. And I also, of course, never did drugs. I never was really a drinker, so you know, couldn't relate to a lot of things going on in here. But again, I could relate to like the friendship parts, being scared of your friends leaving you behind, and you guys growing apart, which is something I do struggle with a lot. And also just being afraid of your friends leaving you. I feel like many girls can relate to this, because at certain point you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, my girls are gonna leave me. And the thing is, even if they do, you'll meet other people, you'll make new friends, but also try and keep your friends. Try and make an effort to keep them, which is something I'm trying to do more and more now. It's a lot of work keeping that bond up, and like keeping the appreciation for your friends up, and letting them feel appreciated as well. And I feel like that's something I learned from this book a lot, and I need to implement it more, because yeah. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast, and this is basically just Oscar Wilde scribbling down his fragments of his mind. It's fun. It feels like Oscar Wilde's like Twitter page, or like Oscar Wilde's notes. I don't really have an opinion on this, but it's a cute little palette cleanser that I read, and there's a lot of cool little words and stuff, cool little sentences, and I feel like if you're doing something artsy, definitely pick this up, because I think can give you kind of inspiration. If you're writing a poem and you don't know about what, pick this up. It's gonna give you some inspiration, like stuff like that. Pick this up, and I'm definitely gonna have this in my bookshelf, and I will be picking this up very soon, probably, because I love writing. I write a lot of like essays and stuff, and I also want to get into more creative writing soon, so I think that will be perfect to kind of give me a prompt for what to write about. Then we read Attached. I say we because this was a body read. Y'all, I didn't like this. All they talked about is anxious attachment. So let's say this part was interesting, and then the rest of the book was just repeating the whole thing over and over and over. And I also didn't rate it because it's a nonfiction and I don't know what to rate it on, but I wouldn't recommend this because not my book at all. I can't even tell you guys what was so annoying about it, but all they talked about is anxious attachment, and they were just hating on avoidant attachment, which was weird. Another book I really didn't enjoy, because apparently now we're in our hate area, is In 5 Years. I gave it one star. It was boring. It felt unnecessary. I don't know why I picked it up. It was recommended to me on TikTok because I typed in books to read in your 20s, and this came up. It's about cheating, and I hate the cheating trope thing. I feel like it's glorified way too much, the whole cheating trope, and we need to stop doing that because it's annoying and it should not be happening. I'm aware cheating is a real thing and it happens, but reading about it is making me so kind of paranoid. That's why I said I need to start reading trigger warnings, because I do not want to read another book with cheating, because I'm done. There's been so many books right now where it's about cheating, like Magnolia Parks, this book, another book I'm gonna tell you guys about. Can it stop at one point because it's getting super annoying. Then we read Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. This one was pretty good. I loved reading about the interesting struggles that the author Lori Gottlieb went through, because she's a therapist and she also is going to a therapist. Because what happens is there's a breakup and she needs to try and debunk like what is happening and stuff, and you later find out that the reason she's going to a therapist is much deeper than what you originally thought. And I love that. And also you get insight on different patients Lori works with and their issues, and I feel like that's so interesting. I especially loved one patient. He's just a character. Like, he's just a character, and he's so full of himself, and just like the way like he grew was amazing, and I loved reading it. I love seeing men grow emotionally. So good. Definitely recommend. Again, no rating because it's like kind of a biography, but yeah, loved it so much. The one book I read in March is Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mallers. First of all, The first 99 pages took me 3 weeks or 2 weeks to get through. And then I read the remaining pages, which were like 270. No, I don't know, 250 in one night. It's not for me. 20-year age gap threw me off. Also, I need to start reading the back of these books because I was told it was written back here somewhere that there's like a big age gap. If I knew, I would not have picked this up, but I did. I did pick it up and I read it and I finished it. I did not enjoy it. I'm giving it like 2 or 3 stars. I don't know, because it was not like a totally bad book. I did underline quite a lot, but it's not a book I'll ever want to pick up again. And it's a book I'll definitely hate on for no apparent reason. There's no reason for me to hate on this because it's amazing writing and it's really good. But I didn't like it. I hated it. I'm so torn about this book. These are the books we read. Oh wait, how many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Read 10 books in February and March. It's okay. Averages to 5 books a month, which is fine. I definitely would have hoped I would have read more, but you know, things happen. Life's not always, you know, an upward way. Sometimes you need to drop a little bit, but I'm hoping to get back into reading now, even though exams are coming up and I have to do a lot more studying because like I need to pass. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please don't do anything. And if you want to see more of me, follow me on my socials. I'm actually more active on there now, and also my kind of cinematic videos are back, so you know, definitely check that out. My socials are linked down below, and yeah, see you guys next time. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Bye guys.
Hi guys, this is your mom.
Hating on me, don't stop. Only help a real cause. Hood legend on some pocket. Manifested till I'm living large. Highballing cause the sky falling. I'ma catch a little piece though. I ain't worried about your little. No, she easy as a free throw. She wanna hold me like ransom. Just cause I'm young and I'm handsome. Tell all these to have a seat. I know that they cannot stand them. Burn it and roll me another one.